Now on CoastTV News.
Bigger, better buildings. Students at Sussex Tech will have more opportunities when this new school is finished.
Keep your eyes on the road. How this SUV ended up halfway inside a Georgetown house.
Park Space Hotel development, a push and pull in Ocean City over a small sliver of land.
And we are still dealing with record challenging drought conditions that's making the ground as dry as stale toast. And tomorrow, it's going to be drier and warmer.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Breaking ground, a new and improved Sussex Tech. That's what's on the horizon. Good evening. I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight at what will be the site of a brand new high school.
It was an exciting day in Georgetown. Shovels going into the dirt, commemorating a ceremonial start to the construction for that brand new Sussex Tech High School.
And as CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, students and staff, they're all thrilled.
Clapping, cheering, and digging. A big crowd was on hand Tuesday for the groundbreaking of the new Sussex Tech High School in Georgetown. Students, faculty, and community members all making it out for the ceremonial event.
I think that it'll definitely help future students coming in, probably be more structured and more formal and possibly better education, a better campus.
Samantha Haas is an alumnus on the school board. She says she is optimistic for what's to come.
Bigger, they're opening up so many more doors for more students to come here. They're also opening up more doors for different areas to be added on. So it's really exciting for the future of our students.
Superintendent Dr. Kevin E. Carson feels like this new building will make a real difference in the community.
We're extremely excited about the opportunity that the new Sussex Technical High School brings for our students, both day and evening. It's going to be exciting. Workforce demands are increasing in our county, and this is going to allow us to grow significantly.
The new building will not be ready until closer to 2027. But once the doors open, the school says they will be able to offer more classes, clubs, and opportunity to their students. This right here is where the new school building will be located, and although there's still lots of work to be done before it's ready, students and faculty at the groundbreaking today are super excited and looking forward to what's to come. In Georgetown, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
New tonight at 11, look at this picture right now on your screen. An SUV crashed into a Georgetown home. It happened Monday around 5:22 p.m. near the intersection of East Market and Kimmy Streets. According to police, the driver, a 75-year-old woman, reportedly veered across lanes, hit two cars, and ultimately crashed into an unoccupied home for sale. The woman told police that she had taken her eyes off the road. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and alcohol is not a suspected factor. Georgetown police, they're investigating.
Delmarva's drought continues, and so does the burn ban. But while many have been working to save their crops, some local wineries may actually get a nice benefit out of these dry October conditions. Apparently, it helps with the taste of that drink in your glass.
Really, a little bit of a drought as we come into harvest is better for us in the wine business because it concentrates sugar levels.
While the dry conditions do help their product up to a point, Peggy says you can only do so much without any rain.
And speaking of those dry conditions, let's take a live look outside into Ocean City and turn it to our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, for a look at the weather. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Christina, and hey, Charlie as well. Don't want to leave him out. But overall, listen, we're still dealing with the dry conditions. And even when it comes to wine formation with the deep roots that actually helps that out, then they can tap into the water under the ground. You're going to run out of something if we don't get some kind of rain in here eventually. And we're staying clear for tonight as we fall back into the mid-50s. Let me show you just how bad it is. I want you to imagine in your mind the record of 34 days in a row. That's the record. We are at day 32. We're only 2 days away from tying the record of just how long we've been without measurable rain at our site in Georgetown. But not just Georgetown, but the entire peninsula. So it's not just one secure area. I mean, for example, just for this month alone, we're supposed to be at least at 3 3/4 minutes of rain, and we've had zilch. And Christina, for tomorrow, we're expecting zilch.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Well, 1 week from Election Day, both presidential candidates are making their closing pitch.
Vice President Harris delivering a major speech in front of a massive crowd in D.C. tonight,
while former President Trump seeks to counter her message. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with details.
A critical moment in the 2024 presidential race. Vice President Harris making the case that the former president is a threat to democracy, delivering her closing argument from the ellipse as a reminder of the day Trump urged his supporters to go to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
And sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol to overturn the will of the people in a free and fair election.
Harris sending an optimistic message about the country's future if she's elected.
I will deliver tax cuts to working people and the middle class. I will make sure you have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Former President Trump arguing that Harris is the one dividing the country.
A campaign of destruction, but really, perhaps more than anything else, it's a campaign of hate.
After backlash from remarks made at his Madison Square Garden rally, where a comedian called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, today the former president saying,
"The love in that room, it was breathtaking."
Former President Trump zeroing in on immigration, highlighting personal stories of Americans hurt by migrant crime, and laying out his solutions if elected to a second term, which include imposing a prison sentence for illegal border crossers.
They serve 10 years in prison. They won't come back. And if that's not long enough, we'll have to do something else. But we don't want them back.
Both candidates making the argument that they should leave the country. Voters will have the final say. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Former President Trump says his campaign is focused on solutions to the economy and immigration, announcing that under his administration they will seize assets of criminal gangs and drug cartels and use them for a compensation fund to provide restitution for victims of migrant crime.
The Cape Henlopen School District is pushing the Sussex County Council to pass what's known as a voluntary assessment fee. What that would do is charge developers a fee that goes towards school construction. And anytime you want somebody to pay more for something they haven't had to pay for in the past, it is going to be divisive.
VSA tax is a tax. We do not need more taxes. I am opposed to taxing people. We have the highest taxes in the country on residential dwellings now. We do not need an additional tax.
They said that they don't want to raise taxes. This is a fee on developers, so you could do the math. I would think that somehow that they don't want to impact developers on this. Developers can pass the fee on to the home buyers if they choose to, and that spreads the cost equitably for everybody.
The school district plans to keep pushing council for this measure. And this brings us right into our CoastTV poll. We want to know who should bear the cost of new school infrastructure.
Let's take a look at the results. Well, so far 86% saying developers should bear that cost. Some saying home buyers, local government, 4% saying state government.
But pretty definitive overall there. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or use the CoastTV mobile app.
Plans for a new hotel right next to Sunset Park in Ocean City are causing some problems. The company Kaima wants to build a new hotel right in downtown Ocean City, but a planned fire lane would actually cut into the park. Functionally, that would mean trimming about 2 feet off of some parts of the area there, replacing the entrance curbing with a standard driveway style curb, and prohibiting fixed objects like tents and food trucks from occupying the area. And while some are concerned by these possible changes, one local is happy to know it will still be open to the public.
We just bike ride around here pretty often, so we just like to come out here and, look at the overlook. So as long as that would still be available, I don't think it would impact us that much.
A public hearing is planned for Monday, November 18th.
To demolish or to renovate, that is the debate about the Army Reserve building on Savannah Road in Lewis right now. The vacant building will be for the city of Lewis. The Board of Public Works and the police. Lewis committed to buying the building back in 2022 with the idea of having more space for the city and BPW's growing staff. Some locals, though, are just ready for a fresh start.
What's there right now really doesn't say much, and I'm sure there's lead pipes and all kinds of toxic materials inside the building, so I think it would probably be cost effective to demolish and start over.
The BPW says they are creating a subcommittee with the city to further discuss the future of the building. The project will be funded by the city and the BPW. In regional news, a gadget that's been sitting in storage at the Dorchester County Historical Society has directors asking the public for help figuring out just what is it.
The machine has 2 rolling pins and it's motorized.
Directors with the museum believe it was used around 100 years ago. That was minus the motor, and they say it could have been used as a Maryland beaten biscuit maker.
We figured that was the fastest and most prominent way to reach our membership, with the idea that they could see it, visualize it, and perhaps remember it in past visits.
And they say it's been in Cambridge since 1992, but questions still remain for this odd contraption.
I love that story. We're just getting started here this evening.
Still to come, do you know the signs of stroke? We show you what to look for so you know when to get help.
And up next, meet the 2 women running to be Delaware's next lieutenant governor.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're going to bounce from 79 to 80 degrees on Thursday for us in Cambridge. And we're looking for a significant warming trend in Crisfield as well. We'll have more on your full forecast coming up in just 60 seconds.
The rugged CR-V. This is how adventure looks in a Honda.
Prince George's County politician Angela Alsobrooks may live near D.C., but she'd bring tons of baggage. Nearly 2 decades of illegal tax breaks, $59,000 in back taxes, and thousands in unpaid bills. A sweetheart tax deal. Typical politician. Slumlord Alsobrooks? Records show she was caught operating an illegal rental property. With so much baggage, how can we trust Alsobrooks to represent us? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord, and so does a turbocharged engine. Stand out with the Honda Accord. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
Well, we had a cool start today, but it wasn't record-breaking or record-challenging, but it was still kind of frosty. I mean, 35, the starting point in Georgetown, 34 in Salisbury, and 38, the starting point in Ocean City. We, stay close to the norm as far as our high is concerned. A couple of degrees, well, 5 degrees to be exact, higher than that. But 44 is the norm. 35 is where we started off at 26. Instead of 1976, well, we were nowhere near that. But what we have continuously been concerned with is actually just how dry it stayed. Now, we have 51 degrees currently in Milton, 2 degrees warmer than that in Georgetown, but we're holding at 49 degrees in Seaford as well as Delmar. And we have a stationary boundary to our north and a couple of sprinkles up towards the New York area. And now they're finally getting, pardon me, they're finally getting some scattered showers there. But to our situation, we're staying dry. But here's an interesting plot twist. The 6 to 10 day precipitation period, we just got an update indicating we're going to go back to our normal precipitation pattern. But that's after 6 days. So you might not know how to kind of read this. It's kind of gobbledygook. Meteorologists kind of look at things kind of weird anyway. And I can say that because IR won, okay? But anyway, 6 to 10 days, that's after we get to 6 to 10 days. So we got to get to the 6th day first. But right now, we're still in the midst of the drought. It's still going to stay dominant for us. I mean, think about this. We haven't seen any parts of rain for 32 days. And I expect 2 more days are to come, so we're going to actually tie that record. And we've been bone dry. Now, there's an outside shot, like the chances of a team coming back from a 3-0 deficit. An outside shot of 23% chance of rain for us on Friday, but I wouldn't put the mortgage on that, okay? Now, we're looking at temperatures in the 50s for Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, we'll climb into the 70s and then go back into the 60s for the evening time. Thursday's going to be even warmer. We'll be in the 60s in the morning time. Climb to the 80s briefly and then go right back into the 70s for the rest of the night. Now, we're going to have a spooky, scary, warm situation for us on Halloween, because we're going to be in the 70s, if not upper 60s, as a result of how warm we're going to start off. Here's a look at your extended forecast. So we are looking for 80s on Thursday. We'll dip down and drop again, because it's going to be a roller coaster ride, okay? Over the weekend, we're going to drop down to near freezing again Saturday night going into Sunday. We'll set the clocks back. All right, all kinds of symbols on the extended forecast. And then, of course, we'll start warming right back up just in time for Election Day.
Thank you, Paul. Well, in just 7 days, not only do Delawareans have to pick a new governor, but also a new lieutenant governor.
And Christina spoke with both candidates competing for the role of Delaware's second in command.
If there's one thing we know for sure about Delaware's next lieutenant governor, it's that she'll have 3 names. It's Republican Ruth Briggs King against Democrat Kyle Evans Gay. King spent 14 years in Delaware's State House, representing Georgetown before stepping down last year when she moved out of the district.
You earn respect. So I think I already have that reputation.
Gay was elected to the state Senate in 2020, flipping District 5 from red to blue for the first time in 40 years.
I'm running on my record of getting things done in the state Senate.
Both candidates say they'd prioritize education. Senator Gay points to Cape Henlopen's 2 failed referendums as a need for change.
I'm advocating for funding reform, making sure that the state funding formula adequately allocates money in ways that it's going to be most effective for students on the ground.
King is pitching ideas to increase attendance and support teachers.
We're going to propose a teacher's Bill of Rights and see if we can get that worked. Many other states have done that.
Both say they have a proven ability to reach across party lines, but if you're looking for a clear divide, it may be on reproductive health and voting rights.
And so when it comes to things like reproductive health care and making sure that everyone has access to health care, that will continue to be a core tenet of what I believe in and what I fight for. Voting rights as well.
She'll talk about reproductive rights. I like to talk about all rights and women's rights as well. In 2019 and then in 2021, the state codified reproductive rights for women. There's nothing left to discuss.
In Delaware, there have been only a handful of instances where the governor and lieutenant governor came from different parties. One of the most recent in 1976, when Republican Governor Pete DuPont served his first term with Democrat James McGinnis. Both Gay and King say they can work with whoever wins.
Of course, I'm really looking forward to a Meyer-Gay administration, but I think that at the end of the day, who the voters send, we know that everyone has Delawareans' best interests at heart.
I believe any governor would be fortunate to have me.
The next lieutenant governor will not only shape policy, but also hold the power to cast a tie-breaking vote in the Senate and chair Delaware's Board of Pardons. For CoastTV News, I'm Christina DiRobertis.
Still to come, President Biden in Baltimore touting his infrastructure work and the billions now going to ports around the country.
And next, the economic mood of America, what the numbers show about how the nation is feeling financially.
Shop Johnny Janasic's Veterans Day mattress sale and find incredible store-wide savings. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your mattress purchase of $19.99 or more through Veterans Day Monday at Johnny Janasic's Mattress World.
My dad, Mike Ramone, is a different kind of public servant. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. But I know from my own experience how much he cares about everyone. He's a great father and grandfather. You can see how much their futures matter to him. And he has the same passion for your kids' future. He's focused on fixing our schools and getting teachers and students the resources they need. What I can promise is he'll be a great governor for all of Delaware.
The real estate industry was broken, but change is here and the Parker Group is leading the charge.
We're proud to introduce our groundbreaking 3.5% listing fee. Sell with us and you could save thousands of dollars.
Our cutting-edge technology delivers significant savings that we pass on to you. Our world-class marketing and dedicated team provide the human touch and unparalleled expertise that you deserve.
As passionate advocates for a more transparent and equitable selling experience, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo.
Welcome to a new era of real estate with the Parker Group.
Seen these attacks? They're not true. The Republican billionaires paying for them know it, and Larry Hogan does too. So why does a group of billionaires from outside Maryland care so much about our Senate race? because they want power, and they know Larry Hogan will give Republicans control of the Senate. They'll pass trillions in new tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy. But you know who they don't care about? You. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I approve this message.
The savings start early during the pre-Veterans Day sale at Johnny Janosic. Get 0% APR financing for 3 years or take an extra 15% off for cash. Shop the pre-Veterans Day sale going on now at Johnny Janosic.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
It's a week before the presidential election, and Americans are feeling more optimistic about the future of both the labor market and the broader U.S. economy. That's according to the Conference Board's latest consumer survey. It shows that the Consumer Confidence Index jumped in October at the fastest clip since March 2021. And the number of consumers anticipating a recession over the next 12 months has dropped to its lowest level since July 2022. The increase in consumer confidence was across all age groups and most income groups. Americans say they're more upbeat over recent stock market gains and lower interest rates.
President Biden was in Baltimore today to announce billions of dollars worth of federal funding to upgrade the nation's ports. This trip follows the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore Harbor last spring. The bridge still needs to be rebuilt, but the president said the port is open for business.
For years, I've been saying it's not enough just to rebuild America. We have to build it back better and stronger than before. That's why today I'm proud to announce we're delivering $3 billion in funding from my Inflation Reduction Act to help clean up and modernize ports in 27 different states and territories.
For the first time in 10 years, there's new guidelines from health experts on how to prevent stroke. They include regular exercise and following a healthy diet, specifically a Mediterranean diet. And new this year, guidelines state that popular weight loss and diabetes drugs can decrease the risk of stroke in people who have diabetes and a high risk of heart disease. In traffic news, drivers can expect some delays on Route 50 near Berlin this fall for a paving project. Crews will be working east from the Wicomico County line to Old Ocean City Road starting on Thursday. MDOT says weather permitting, work should be completed by December.
Coming up in sports, the road to the biggest stage is that much closer. We check in on the soccer state quarterfinals.
And next, easy flight. You might have some new options out of the Salisbury Airport, where those plans will take you.
And if you plan on golfing tomorrow, listen, at 8 o'clock, if that's the tee-off time, sunshine at 59, by noon, 78 degrees, and we'll peak at 80, believe it or not, 3 o'clock.
Watch for the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
As a Prince George's County police officer under Angela Also Brooks, here's what you should know. Also Brooks wanted to remove security from our schools and cut police funding. She released violent criminals and drug dealers. Murders have doubled, carjackings are up 500%. She would abolish cash bail, letting more violent criminals go free. Larry Hogan, he has our backs, and that's why Maryland police unanimously endorsed him.
Join our team by donating today.
I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message.
Your Ford dealer presents America's all-time best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer. The intelligent Ford Expedition. The fun, fuel-efficient Ford Escape. Want more? Visit your local Ford dealer. Now get an Escape with 2.9 plus $1,250 bonus cash, or get Expedition with 2.9 or $5,000 cash back.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
In 1925, a simple bank ledger began journaling the transactions of life in Willards, Maryland. New houses, barns, and farm equipment, growing families and businesses both big and small, a record through time of hardship and prosperity. 100 years ago, the founding of the Farmers Bank of Willards was vital to the town. 100 years later, banking has changed, but the Farmers Bank remains steadfast in its original mission, keeping and reinvesting millions of dollars right here for the benefit of our communities.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramone's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
In regional news, the Salisbury Airport is getting closer to bringing in a new airline, and with it, some more travel options. The U.S. Department of Transportation just awarded Wicomico County an $800,000 grant. This boost will help attract a new airline by covering startup costs and guaranteeing revenue. If all goes well, the new airline could offer direct flights to Florida. No deal has been signed yet, but airport manager Tony Rudy says talks with a low-cost carrier are looking promising.
Just got back from an Air Service Development Forum last week, and we did speak with them, and they are still very interested, and we're hoping with the grant announcement now we can make the next steps to lock them in and negotiate the service with them.
And Rudy says the Salisbury Airport could be offering new flights to Florida by early next year.
We have an update on the Sea Witch Festival. Earlier this week, we told you that attendance had surpassed last year. Well, now we have some numbers to back that up. Carol Everhart with the Chamber of Commerce has given some approximate numbers. Friday, 50,000 people took part in Sea Witch events. Saturday, a staggering 115,000 people enjoyed the festivities. That included the parade. Our whole crew was out there. Then on Sunday, another 60,000 people. That's a grand total of 225,000, roughly 25,000 more than last year.
New at 11, if your favorite Halloween candy has chocolate in it, you're probably paying more for it and getting less.
That's no fun. The reason, well, the cost of sugar and cocoa have both gone up in the past few years, and candy makers need to keep up.
Karen Kafa is taking a bite into this story as she crunch bars the numbers.
This Halloween, your favorite chocolate treat may seem a little smaller, or there may be fewer in the bag.
If people want chocolate, it's still going to be there. Production is still going, but it's just going to cost more.
That's because of the supply of a key ingredient, cocoa. David Branch of Wells Fargo's Agri-Food Institute says recent years have brought tough growing conditions to West Africa, responsible for more than 70% of the world's cocoa supply.
The major cocoa producing region of West Africa has essentially had 3 years of declining production and crops due mainly to multiple weather events that just seem to be piling on.
The International Cocoa Organization projected in August that global cocoa production this season would fall by 14.2%. The supply squeeze felt by major confectioners who had also dealt with higher sugar prices before they fell back this year.
We've seen sugar prices this year drop from the highs we've seen the last 2 years, so that's a positive note for this.
So confectioners have been more creative this Halloween, swapping out layers of chocolate for things like wafers and nuts, combining chocolate and non-chocolate items in variety bags, and making treats a little smaller. The good news for chocolate lovers, weather conditions have improved for this year's crops, which will eventually boost supply. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
What's going on, sports fans? The 3A East Region 1 final is up for grabs on the soccer pitch. It's Severna Park taking on the undefeated Clippers in girls soccer action. An absolute nail-biter at the Shipyard as James M. Bennett hosts Severna Park in the Class 3A Girls Soccer Regional Championship. With 8:30 left in the half, the Falcons continue to loom over the Clippers. Erin Hussey forcing the issue, getting the rock to go. 1-0 Severna Park ahead. JMB would answer back quickly. Gracie Core capitalizing on the corner kick with the header. 1-1 now as we head to the second half of action. And it still remains 1-1 at the end of regulation. So we head to overtime, and every contest must have a winner. Today it will be Severna Park as Hussey getting her second goal of the day. Your final 2-1 in overtime as Severna Park is crowned the Class 3A Girls Soccer Regional Champions. And it will be a dramatic ending to see who wins the Henlopen North Division. Cape Henlopen and Caesarani tied during regular season play and finished 6-0-1 in the division. The tiebreaker will determine the North winner, and we will have it live right here on the Delmarva Sports Network tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Boys soccer in Delaware has been must-watch all season long, and it will continue to be. The fight to get into the conference championship will be hosted at Milford High School. That'll for sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Coming up next, a surprise addition to the Salisbury Zoo. Why this fawn's arrival was unexpected.
I'm Kim Hoy-Stevenson. As a Sussex County Planning Commissioner, I protected more than 2,000 acres of open space, supported farmers, and defended our community values. It's about people over politics. Vote Kim Hoy-Stevenson for Delaware State Senate's 6th District.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
These hands cook for 30 people 3 meals a day. I can't stop when I have dry hands. I trust O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
In Washington, they talk, but in Delaware, Sarah delivers.
Sarah McBride helped raise the minimum wage.
She got paid leave for workers.
She got Democrats and Republicans to work together.
We're all in for Sarah.
Carpenters, bus drivers,
nurses,
sheet metal workers.
Sarah sees us.
And she respects us.
I'm Sarah McBride. I approve this message because anyone who works hard should be able to make ends meet. That's why I'm running for Congress.
The Corolla legacy is earned, rooted in affordable reliability. With convenience and unexpected comfort. Lease a Corolla Cross LE for $319 a month or buy a Corolla sedan with low 5.49 APR. Toyota, let's go places.
As temperatures drop, FH Fur invites you to be part of something truly heartwarming, our Fall into Comfort Toy Drive. Through December 15th, for only $29, the experts at FH Fur will perform a comprehensive heating system inspection, ensuring your home stays snug through the chilly months ahead. The best part? 100% of the proceeds will go to the United States Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots. Schedule your heating inspection today with FH Fur.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
I'm Kim Hoy-Stevenson. As a Sussex County Planning Commissioner, I protected more than 2,000 acres of open space, supported farmers, and defended our community values. It's about people over politics. Vote Kim Hoy-Stevenson for Delaware State Senate's 6th District.
The Salisbury Zoo recently welcomed Lily, a white-tailed deer fawn born in July to her mother Rosie, who you see in front of her. The city says Lily's arrival was unexpected as they did not know her mom, who came to the zoo in March, was pregnant. Soon, Lily will join Rosie and the other deer in the exhibit for visitors to enjoy. Paul, what do you think?
Sounds like a talk show in the morning time, Rosie. And oh, well, and a baby popped up. Okay, here we go. So, hey, take a look at our tidal health camera in Salisbury, 47 degrees actually. And we're going to have temperatures that will continue to stay on the cool side with mainly clear skies. Umbrella giveaway winner? Well, it's actually Steve Johnson of Milton. Be sure you come on by and pick up your umbrella because you might need it. Well, no, you won't. Sorry, that was just talking. 50 degrees for tonight, clear skies. We're looking at bright sun and a warm up for tomorrow in 79, 80 with spooky sunshine on Halloween and a wicked warm up. But we are looking for the stationary boundaries to stay to our north. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line at 443-880-9100. Sponsored by Baird, Mandela's, Brockstead, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, that's up next.
We hope to see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.